Now I am going to discuss the poem The Heart of the Tree, written by Henry Cooler Bonner. And before starting the line by line explanation and the difficult word meanings, I am just going to tell you a little bit about the poet and the title of the poem. As you can see, this poem is written by Henry Cooler Bonner. And if I am going to tell you about the Henry Cooler Bonner, he was an American poet, novelist, and an editor. He wrote verses fictions that depict the scene of the people of New York City where he spent a greater part of his life or major part of his life. He was died in the year 1896 at the age of 41 years. If I am going to describe the title of the poem, then I can say that the heart or definitely this poem has been published in the year 1893. It was published in Century magazine, a reputed magazine in the 19th century. The poem is about the benefit of the plants. Okay, and what was about the poem? This poem, or as reader, what strikes us no less is its great relevance today, when we are experiencing disasters in all parts of the world due to precisely to the callous and insensitive attitude of some of us towards natural resources. The poem is revolving around the plants and in the whole poem. That's why the title is also apt and just. So let's begin the line by line explanation of the poem. The Heart of the Tree. So what was about the poem? What does he plant? Who plants a tree? He plants a friend of sun and sky. He plants the flag of breezes free, the sceptre of beauty towering high. He plants a home to heaven and I. For some and for song and the mother croon of bird, in hushed and happy twilight heard, the treble of heaven's harmony. These things he plants, who plants a tree. Okay, so the poem starts with a question. What does he plant? Who plants a tree? What does he plant? Who plant a tree? So the poem starts with a question, and this is the theme of the poem. We, without any delay, realize that the poet is going to explain the usefulness of the planting a tree. However, after asking the questions, he himself gave the answer of this question. Okay, in the very next lines. Thus, he says that the man plants a friend or sun and sky by planting a tree. So look at that. He plants a friend of sun and sky. Why does the poet say this? Why does the poet say this? The tree needs sunlight and air to survive. And finally, the trees seem to absorb the heat and save the earth from the global warming and the scorching sun, giving an implication that the sun becomes friend in presence of the trees. Okay, so now it will be clear to you that sun become friends in presence of the forest, in presence of the trees. Okay, so in the very next line, he plants the flag of breezes free, the sceptre of beauty towering high. So what in this two lines, what the poet says? Here, poet draws a comparison. The poet here compares the leafy branches of the tree to a flag and the stem to the beautiful sceptre of the flag that stands tall. So sceptre, what is the meaning of sceptre? Sceptre means a ray, a long pole or stick. Okay, a ray or long pole of stick. He plants a home to heaven and night for song and mother croon of birds. So by planting a tree, the man plants a home for all sweet singing birds high in the sky near the heaven. So he keeps up the earth habitable for birds and helps in maintaining the ecosystem. Okay, so he plants a home to heaven and night for song and mother croon of birds. So what is the croon? Croon means mother croon of birds means, what is the meaning of it? What mother croon of birds? Here, mother croon of bird means that is sung by mother bird to her baby to should take in, then and to put them to sleep. Okay, so if someone is planting a tree, that means he planting the peacefulness of the earth. In hushed and happy twilight heard the trebles of heaven's harmony. Okay, so these things he plants, who plants of trees. Now, when the mother bird is singing sweet melody for her young ones at the twilight hour, the atmosphere becomes harmonious and heavenly. These things will happen who plants a tree. The poet, his own qualities here, which he had posed in the opening line of the poem, what does he plant who plants a tree? So, as you all see that poet has asked a question in the opening line of the poem, and he has answered the question of this line in the next lines of this poem. So, very rightly, the poet compare or poet explains the usefulness of plants towards the mother earth. Okay, if we go to the second stanza of this poem, then it will be more clear to us. What does he plant who plants a tree? He plants. What does he plant who plant a tree? What does he plant? He plant a tree. He plants cool shade and tender rain, and seed and bud of days to be, and years that fade and floss again. He plants the glory of the plain. He plants the forest heritage, the harvest of coming age, the joy that unborn eyes shall see. These things he plant who plants a tree. So the poet given around some questions what he had asked in the opening line of the first stanza, and he tries again to answer in the subsequent lines. The tree he plants provide us with cool shade and helps in bringing rain. Okay, so he plants cool shade and tender rain. So what the trees the poet plants, it will bring rain. And seed and bud of days to be, and years that fade and flourish again. A tree will produce seed and bud in future, okay, or in next time. Okay, so years will pass, but the trees will remain there through its seed, which produces new trees. Okay, he plants the glory of the plain. He plants the forest heritage. So trees are the main elements that make a plain area green and beautiful. So the poet describes trees as the glory of the plain. However, today's single tree may turn into a forest someday. So by planting a tree, man plants a forest heritage. Okay, so the harvest of coming age, the joy that unborn eyes shall see. These things he plants who plants a tree. The planting of trees today gives us the results of the subsequences for action in the coming age, which mean in the days to come. The plant of trees is long lasting. Even the coming generations who have not been born yet will see the trees and experiences the joy and happiness. These things he plants who plants a tree. The poet concluded the stanza just like the first one, that these we get these things we will get by planting a tree. Okay, so next, third stanza, what the poet says in the third stanza. What does he plant who plant a tree? What does he plant who plant a tree? He plant in safe and leaf and wood, in love of home and loyalty, and after cast throw of civic goods, his blessing of the neighborhood, who in the hollow of his hand holds all the growth of all our land. A nation's growth from sea to sea stirs in his heart and plants a tree. Okay, so what does he plant who plants a tree? He plants in safe and leaf and wood, in love of home and loyalty, and after forecast thought of civic good. Okay, so in the third stanza he becomes philosophical. He is discussing the moral duty of a citizen. He links planting trees to the growth of a nation. It also shows that by planting trees, a man shows his devotion, affection towards the precious Mother Earth. Now, who in the hollow of his hand holds all the growth of all our land, a nation's growth from sea to sea stirs in his heart who plants a tree. By planting a tree, man contributes to the growth of the nation. When a tree is planted by a man, it sets in motion the progress of nation from the sea to sea. The capitalization in his indicates that the man who plants a tree is all powerful and the destiny maker of the nation. The concluding line of the poem highlights the significances of the man's heart, his feeling, dreams, wishes behind planting a tree. This also leads the poem's title, The Heart of the Tree. That's all, my dear students. Thanks for watching the full video. Please subscribe this channel for more new videos like this, and feel free to comment if you have any doubts. Thank you everyone. Take care. Bye bye.